Or turn off my music over here. It's sorry, this is the first time I've used a streamer from a third-party app, and I just want to make sure that it is working across Substack and YouTube and Instagram all together before we continue. I'm gonna just double up actually. So bear with me while I learn the new with technicals. So welcome to this Journal with Me space. This is a time that honestly I think is so needed right now, especially in this transformational new year. Everything that we're going through, everything that is changing, the things we want to change, the things that we don't want to change. So today I'm just going to hold some journaling space for all of us to be able to collaborate. I've been hosting a 4-week workshop over at bemojournal.com, and in that 4-week workshop we're starting to new year differently. So we're going through and we're starting it with deep intention and not what I've been calling firework energy, not this deep jumping in, need to do everything. If you're familiar with the BMO practice, you know that the whole concept of needing to is something that I am always against and always saying to catch yourself, because when you say that you need to, you're actually speaking a limiting belief in that moment. So I am prepared with a brand new journal. I love when it's brand new, and I kind of have the feeling that the light pink one, the lively blush color, is the softest one. I'm not gonna lie. Last year the lilac was really, really soft vegan leather, and this year our light pink is, oh, it's amazing. It feels cuddly. So today we're going to be writing through one of the first prompts that I gave everybody in my New Year's workshop, and we're going to be writing through a prompt that I'm calling the reverse 1-year resolution. But before we do that, let's get into a little bit of the why, and let's just settle in the here and now, where we are in this moment. So take a moment to arrive, to be here as you are, to let the day fade away in this moment. There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing that is going to make anything better in this moment. It's not a task that you have to assign yourself. You don't have to think about other people or anything that is waiting for you. Just shed the day and release. Place your feet firmly on the ground and wiggle your toes. Like really, really feel the ground. Like sense it. Try to sense it with the whole bottom of your foot. And see what is there. Feel the carpet or the wood or whatever is beneath your feet. And let out a breath. Unclench your jaw. Move your neck around. Feel your weight in the seats or on the floor. And take a deep breath in and let it go. And one more. Hold and let it go. So this is just a container for anyone that wants to write through this prompt today. It's not going to be a fully guided BMO practice. It's just going to be a journal with me space. This is not another new year, new me space. Many of us are tired of that firework energy and that pressure and that urgency to reinvent ourselves every single year before we even have a moment to breathe, before we even have a moment to feel what the new year is going to be like. There's nothing wrong with being a task-oriented person. There's nothing wrong with being driven in that way. I am absolutely that person, which is part of the reason why I am so strict about the need toing yourself and the need to concept that we talk about so frequently in the BMO practice. Because very often that drive to do more, to be more, to set goals, to fly sky high and do all of the things all of the time, it's just another learned way of coping. A way of driving up energy in order to survive, in order to ignore, in order to avoid, in order to just not feel, deal, reveal, and heal what has been unprocessed. So the workshop that I've been hosting it's not about forcing change, it's about allowing, it's about making space for it. And it's also about identifying the things that are going to be most supportive of the year rather than the drive for the things that we believe should and need and have. So this workshop, these 4 weeks are all about shedding and then moving into that space that we create. And if you've been following social media, you'll understand that shedding is a necessary part of the season, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But this is all about noticing what you no longer need to carry before deciding what you want to build. So we're here to notice what is already true and engage together through BMO's 4 stages of self-discovery: feel, deal, reveal, and heal. If we follow the rules of nature, we are still at rest here in the Northern Hemisphere. In the Northern Hemisphere, it is still winter. So at this point, if we were a tree in the forest or a bulb underground, we would be gathering nutrients and finding warmth in our surroundings very slowly. In terms of the Chinese zodiac and the Chinese calendar, we are transitioning out of the year of the snake and into the year of the fire horse. But that isn't fully done until March. Not this year. It starts on February 17th and ends in early March. So snake years, which is the year that we're transitioning out of as far as the zodiac is concerned, snake years are not loud years. They're not performative years. They are years of uncomfortable learning. And I don't know about you, but that's a really good description of 2025. So right now, in these weeks of shifting and transformation into the future, into the fire horse energy, we are shedding what no longer serves us so that we don't carry it forward with that energy. Fire horse energy is going to be fast and it's going to be wild, and we don't want to carry the things that we are shedding forward with us. So today, we're going to write through, for 15 to 30 minutes, we're going to write through the reverse one-word resolution. And that prompt is create the one-word reverse resolution. Choose one word for this year that represents your personal journey, an unmet need, a consistent feeling you had, or a worry that was always top of mind, something that happened at the forefront. Then answer, what is the one thing I am shedding and letting go of as I enter 2026? Why? What do you now know about yourself that broadens this big picture or guides your healing path forward? This is not about who you will become. It is about what you no longer need to carry. So I'm going to put that prompt here. Just choose one word from this last year. And I know you'll want to just jump into just an awful word to describe the entire year. But I want you to choose a word that really is centered around an experience that was your own, an unmet need, a consistent feeling. And then I want you to write through what it would mean to shed it and why this is what you're letting go. So take about 15 to 30 minutes to write through this together. The technical difficulties. I'll just take 5 to 10 more minutes to work on this reverse resolution prompt. Begin to wrap up your prompt, your reverse one word resolution, or if you need more time, flow with it beyond beyond this space, beyond this container. This is actually the third time I've written through this in recent weeks, and it hasn't necessarily been different each time, but it's carried a different weight for sure. As inspiration for those of you who are just dropping in, or those of you that are continuing with your own practice, I'm just going to read a little excerpt from one of mine about this prompt, this reverse resolution, this thing that I am shedding and letting go of. I said last year felt like a stagnant and held becoming, this time above water. This time, like a held face in the ice cold of a winter storm, watching in place of waiting, patient but notwithstanding. I felt more. I felt a rage and a heartbreak swing into me like a pendulum caught in an unexpected rest. I expected nothing and dreamt of everything, so when nothing really happened, it felt like an asked for confusion. An old wound turned into an excuse to rest solemnly on what was once the hill I died on. I entered with no regard or desire for doing, and remained there, exposed to patience, patient for learning to be patient. It is hard to learn things when you aren't sure the question to ask. In this year of the snake, a year of micro movements flexing and folding in infinite and familiar discomfort, I let my eyes pierce the future while I lay in the heat of dying grasses, preparing to meet the earth with every scale of my rippling existence. Blankly content, contently dissatisfied. It was a year of sensing the vibration was within so that I may hear myself, stretching a tongue forward to taste the air and know if I am alone still, seeing only what fills in the space between internal vibration and a forward movement between earth and air. I longed mostly for ease, one that looked like stillness and therefore felt no longer immovable but rather still. Most of me felt unfamiliar in waiting for the vibrations of my inner world to paint a picture of what surrounds me here in this place of new. I could say old patterns were ignited, but I did almost nothing the same. Even the ground beneath me rocked violently, and the vision of my future came at me like a child running toward and then away. What is different is the way I chose to hold my voice long enough to know precisely what it had to say. The details are never what truly mattered. What is different is how I stayed in that space and how this time I chose to leave, unsudden, bold, without reaction. Just stillness, slithering shine of skin pushing new muscle, one against another, holding a space within, taking in warmth, digesting the things that take 30 days or more. My desire to meet myself in the space of dreams repeated on a canvas half drawn. What felt heavy was the moment. I chose not to erase, but to start again, to remain a phoenix shadow flying under the surface, paused, in the way she is becoming so much brighter. An unstoppable, enigmatic, and fiery force. What is no longer true is the way we've loved each other, or the definition of how we show up, is different now, and what we are still deciding. So I'm going to type up my own practice, my own prompt from this, and share with you a little bit of how I worked through the funk and how I moved through the 3 steps of the BMO practice through my own reverse resolution prompt. I will share that to the private community side of my Substack. And yeah, for those of you that are in the 4-week workshop, I look forward to holding the space again with you. I look forward to doing this more often. I apologize for the technical difficulties of trying something brand new. I've never tried one of these streaming to multiple places before, and I can see that it didn't work for a lot of places, but I hope that it worked for you. And if not, we'll do this again very, very soon. So thank you for being here, and continue moving through your practice. Continue through step 2 and 3 through the funk method and your purposeful positives with your own reverse 1-word resolution. And I will see you next time.